was undergoing a massive transformation, whether for better or worse music. Disney Pixar's Toy Story premiered in 1995, proving that computer-generated imagery CGI wasn't just a novelty. It was a game changer for feature-length films. Pixar had set the bar, showing what was possible. For other animation studios, transitioning to 3D no longer felt like a shot in the dark. However, Pixar dominated the 90s, standing virtually unchallenged in the realm of animated films until DreamWorks. Shrek burst onto the scene in 2001. Before that, competition was slim. Disney's expertly crafted classics faced off against DreamWorks. Early effort ends. Producing a fully 3D animated movie was a risky and expensive venture, one that only a few studios could afford. As a result, many companies shifted their focus to television, which required smaller budgets and carried fewer risks. While Pixar ruled feature films, smaller studios began exploring 3D animation for TV. This sparked a wave of 3D animated shows in the mid-90s, some visually groundbreaking, others raising the question, just because we can, does it mean we should? Still, the trend swept the industry, encouraging networks to greenlight more CGI projects. This environment was the perfect opportunity for writer-director John A. Davis to get his big break. It all started with an idea Davis had back in the early 80s. He envisioned a live-action short film about a boy genius named Johnny Quasar and alter ego, inspired by Davis's childhood love of science fiction and gadgets. Despite lacking the technical skills to pursue it as a career, Davis developed a story titled Runaway Rocket Boy, about a young boy escaping his parents in a homemade rocket. He had ambitious plans for the project, imagining special effects and futuristic designs. But the 80s weren't exactly DIY friendly. To move forward, Davis pitched the concept to production companies and even applied for a government grant. Unfortunately, his request was denied because the show wasn't educational enough unless he could explain how shrink rays worked or why purple flurp was a balanced meal. The funding wouldn't happen. Disheartened, Davis shelved the project for years. Fast forward to the mid-90s. While moving, Davis rediscovered the Runaway Rocket Boy script. This time, he saw its potential as a CGI animated show, a format his studio, DNA Productions, had been experimenting with. Thanks to Pixar and other pioneers, 3D animation was now feasible. Motivated by this shift, Davis and his team created a 40-second CGI demo of Runaway Rocket Boy featuring Johnny and his robot dog, Goddard. The clip showcased Johnny flying a rocket, dodging an asteroid, and delivering a witty monologue. Using Lightwave, a relatively affordable animation software, DNA Productions produced visuals that were surprisingly polished for the time. They debuted the demo at the 1995 SIGGRAPH convention, entering it into a Lightwave animation contest. To everyone's surprise, Runaway Rocket Boy won 2 awards, Best Character Animation and Best in Show. Its unique, cartoonish style stood out in an era dominated by photorealistic CGI, plus caught the attention of Steve Oedekerk, a Hollywood producer best known for collaborating with Jim Carrey on Ace Ventura. Intrigued by Johnny Quasar's design and charm, Oedekerk contacted Davis and offered to help pitch the project to networks. Together, DNA Productions and Oedekerk's company, O Entertainment, refined the concept. Johnny's design was adjusted, his receding hairline replaced with a wacky new hairstyle, and his lab coat swapped for a t-shirt. The newly polished concept was ready for pitching. Nickelodeon was their first stop, and to Davis's surprise, it was also their last. Nickelodeon executives fell in love with the idea, dubbing Johnny Quasar a mix between Bart Simpson and Albert Einstein. They commissioned a 13-minute pilot in 1995. However, during the development process, Johnny's name had to be changed due to similarities with Johnny Quest and Captain Quasar. Just 24 hours to brainstorm, Davis and his wife landed on Jimmy Neutron. Pilot episode, also titled Runaway Rocket Boy, was completed in 1998, showcasing many characters and traits fans would later adore. Nickelodeon loved it and had even bigger plans, not just a TV series, but also a feature-length film. Davis was floored. He'd only hoped for a theatrical short to play before a Rugrats movie. Nick proposed airing the TV show first, followed by the movie, but Davis suggested flipping the timeline, creating the movie first. would allow them to build high-quality 3D assets that could be reused in the show, saving time and money. Nick agreed, and in 1999, Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius was greenlit with a $30 million budget. DNA Productions expanded its team, growing from 30 to 130 employees, refined the characters' designs for the big screen. The film took just 24 months to complete, half the time of most CGI films, thanks to DNA's efficient use of commercial animation software. Nickelodeon's extensive promotional campaign ensured Jimmy was already a household name before the movie hit theaters. From online comics to crossovers with SpongeBob, kids were primed for Jimmy's debut. Released in December 2001, Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius was a box office success, earning $100 million globally. It was even nominated for the first ever Oscar for Best Animated Feature, losing to Shrek. The accompanying TV show premiered in 2002, running for 3 seasons and cementing Jimmy Neutron as a Nickelodeon icon. Though plans for a sequel were scrapped due to creative disagreements, Jimmy Neutron left a lasting legacy. Its groundbreaking animation techniques paved the way for future CGI shows, and fans continue to hold out hope for a reboot. Until then, we can still enjoy the adventures of everyone's favorite Boy Genius and his unforgettable one-liners. Are you gonna finish that croissant?